Okay. I think we're really live. I think we're doing it.
All right.
Wanted to say welcome to everybody who is tuning in. I am testing out and diving into the world of LinkedIn Live with a series that I am using to spotlight Authentic's amazing team of chief marketing officers. And my wonderful, illustrious first guinea pig for this is our CMO, Ruth Glaser. Still workshopping this, but for now, the title of this series is Get to Know a CMO. And so glad to have you here, Ruth. Thanks for being here.
Hi, Jess. Thanks. I'm happy to be your guinea pig.
Thank you. Cool. Well, for those of you who maybe are new to Authentic or new to Ruth or I, Authentic is a team and a firm that supports small and medium sized businesses who might be having revenue or growth challenges via the skills and talents of our amazing team of chief marketing officers. We also have our own proprietary methodology that we call Authentic Growth and bring into all of the many clients that we've served. We've been around for a little over 8 years and have served more than 150 clients and companies of different sizes. And we really think the world of the amazing CMO team that we have here. Uh, our CMOs can help companies in a number of different ways. Very often, they're coming on board a client's own team as a part time but full accountability CMO for their company. But they can also come alongside or stay outside of the business as a coach to an existing revenue leader, somebody who maybe wants to level up their own marketing strategy, execution, their own skills as a leader. So there's a lot of ways we can help, but our CMOs are at the heart of all of it. And I'm super excited to kick off this series with Ruth Glaser. I'm going to toot your own horn a little bit for you, Ruth, but Ruth's a former entrepreneur. She's truly a brilliant strategist. She has been with Authentic for a little bit more than 5 years, and she is very often our early adopter of new tech. There's always something new coming out, like truly on a daily basis right now with AI and different types of marketing technologies. And Ruth is very often blazing an early trail for us, and then coming back, sharing the rest of what she's learned with our team. So again, thank you for being here, Ruth. And yeah, just excited to get to know you a little bit better.
Awesome. Thanks, Jess.
Cool. Okay, so first question. All of our CMOs have truly such amazing careers. Like you've been working in marketing for a very long time, but you've done a lot of other cool stuff too. And so, my first question for you is what has been maybe the most formative job in your career?
Oh, that's a great question. I think obviously Authentic is very formative for me on an ongoing basis. But when I look back, I would say co-founding Let's Dish was definitely it was a great exercise in learning a lot. Let's Dish was one of the first meal kit solutions on the market, and we started that about 20 years ago. And the reason it was the most formative is because, a couple of reasons. I know what it's like to have skin in the game because to start this business, I took out a second mortgage on my home,
Yeah.
as did my business partner. And, then we just dove in, and I was working on my MBA at the time. And so we treated it like a case study, and I got involved in everything from product development, operations to finance, of course, marketing. And I guess I know what it's like to have those stresses as an owner. And in particular, we had grown nationally. We had some really good expansion, and then we had to navigate the 2008 recession. And one thing I learned about that, those are very tough times, but no tough situation is ever wasted. A crisis can really challenge you and make you be creative and figure out how to do things, and hopefully come out the other side better for that experience.
That's cool. Yeah. And I've seen firsthand and heard from many of your past clients, like what a difference it makes for them to know that you've been in their shoes. Like there are so many trade-offs, there are so many unknowns. When you're the owner, you've got the financial ramifications and the good and the bad. So
Well,
that's
and the responsibility, you feel a huge responsibility to your employees too, and want to do right by them as well.
for sure. Yeah, that's so cool. Well, thank you. That's a great answer to the formative career question. Next one, kind of digging in, going a little bit deeper on maybe some of your more recent learnings and client experiences. What is something that you've learned from a recent client engagement that either brought you insight into marketing that was new to you, or maybe into your own kind of style or experience as a leader?
That is also a great question. I love that. I had a really neat client recently. They were in the leadership development space. They'd been around for 40 years, had very researched, informed approaches and frameworks. They worked with Fortune 500 companies, international companies, as well as SMBs. And one of the big takeaways that I got from working with them, I usually have a leadership style of find really good people and let them run.
Mhm.
Just give them runway.
Yeah.
But what I realized is that through working with this organization is that even really skilled and tenured team members sometimes may need more clarity and context up front. And because they're senior and tenured, they might not feel as comfortable asking for help. And so creating that type of collaborative environment where people can come with questions or want to collaborate up front and get alignment, that was a big aha moment for me. So yeah, I love, there's always something new to learn. And I think that was a really good one to take back.
That's awesome. Cool. Very cool. Yeah, I feel like the longer I have worked, or the different sizes and styles and cultures of organizations, you really do get to see firsthand and learn, like, not everybody needs the same information. Sometimes people need more or less,
Right.
more hands-on, less hands-on than I do. So yeah, like kind of stepping outside of your own habits, or your not making any assumptions that somebody needs exactly what you need is so cool.
Exactly. I love
Yeah.
that.
Cool. Okay. All right. So changing gears to advice. Cause yeah, not everybody gets access to a tenured chief marketing officer on a LinkedIn Live every day. So if you, for any of those founders, entrepreneurs, business owners, somebody out there who is wrestling with marketing challenges, or feeling a little stuck by the huge range of marketing
Yeah.
tactics,
Yeah.
what advice, like, is there anything that you would recommend that they think about, or revisit in their own strategy to get unstuck in their marketing?
Yeah, definitely. I think you mentioned in the intro that, you know, marketing is evolving so rapidly. It just keeps accelerating and everybody's on the AI train now, and how do we plug that into our marketing? So my advice to people is really to, take a step back from the tactics and really focus on the fundamentals. So we talk about the 4 P's in marketing, the product, the price, the placement, and then the promotion. But really asking yourselves, who is this product for? What problems are we solving?
Mhm.
And where are our best fit customers? So even as, it's so common to want to sell to anyone, it's really important to find out who those best fit folks are, and so that you can go after more of those. What I find, the companies that I work with, a lot of time they have what I call organizational momentum. So they're doing things because they've taken a long time to develop that process and
Yeah.
way of doing things, and so sometimes it's difficult to kind of turn that ship, right?
Mhm.
Um, but I think where marketing can play a really important role is tying the feedback that's coming in from the sales team, from the client services and support team, bringing that back to product development, and figuring out together cross functionally how you can position your solutions for that right target audience. And then it will become clear what tactics you need to do to reach those folks, and where you can find more of them.
That's so cool. Yeah, we notice and see so much. That's such a good illustration that having our CMOs on a leadership team as opposed to external, or like in a marketing silo, it can open up so many opportunities to connect those conversations. Like, it is messy work to make a change or ask questions that disrupt long held processes, or
Yeah.
maybe pose open-ended questions to people in other teams in your organization. So yeah, definitely, it's like sometimes the simple stuff is the hard stuff.
It really is. It really can be, but it's worth doing. And,
Yeah,
once you go through that sometimes uncomfortable process, you come out the other side all the better for it.
for sure. Very cool. Well, thank you. That is super good advice. Again, you're setting the bar high with these get to know you questions. But final thing, well, kind of wrapping up and getting to know what you're maybe excited about. What's bringing you joy right now?
Well, Jess, you know, because you're here in the Twin Cities in Minnesota as well, but we love our Minnesota summers, and we have had a storybook summer this year, in my opinion, because I'm an avid cyclist. So I like to get out and ride like 5 times a week. I'm also sending my youngest off to college
Oh my
later
God,
this summer.
cool.
So I will be an official empty nester, and I'm going to pack all my stuff on my bike and go on a fun bike packing trip out west. So I'm
That's
really
so
looking
cool.
forward to that.
Those are some big milestones. That's awesome. But yeah, even just the crux of it of that we really stockpile the vitamin D in Minnesota in the summer so we can, when winter is coming, where we really cherish it. So that's awesome. Amazing. Well, that concludes the very first in our Get to Know a CMO series. Thank you so much for people who are tuning in to get to know Ruth and get to know Authentic a little bit better. If you have any questions for me, you want to learn more about what we do, you want to ask more questions of Ruth, get in touch. You can find me on LinkedIn. And yeah, we just wish you a wonderful start to the week and a wonderful start to Q3.
Great.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much, Jess.